out tonight. It's truly an honor to be around so many awesome and amazing, inspiring other young people who are doing incredible things. So my name is Alex Ferriera, and these are my two partners, Justin Lyle and Brandon Rossi. Tonight we're going to be telling you a little bit about our story, our ongoing story actually, and also we're going to be sharing with you 3 of the most important lessons we've learned in the last 8 months through working with an incubator and around some amazing mentors who have taught us things that we never thought we'd learn. I'm doing the mic. Sorry. So I started selling things pretty young, and I quickly developed an entrepreneurial mindset from there. I kind of realized that moving into high school, I became inspired by people all over the world through the internet who were my age and doing incredible things, right? As a freshman in high school, doing incredible things and making difference and you know, starting incredible businesses. So from that point on, I kind of realized that I was already behind. So I decided to start my first company, which is a clothing company called Contrive Clothing. From that point forward, I decided to devote the rest of my high school career to developing as many skills as I possibly could and learning as much as I possibly could in the time I had. So as I came up on my senior year, I started to feel an immense amount of pressure to actually make something substantial happen before I had to start on the normal path of life and get a normal job. So throughout the rest of that senior year and the summer following it, I finally understood the limitless potential that you could experience when you actually put all of your effort, all of your passion, all of your time into one thing that you love doing every single day. And I think that's something that all these young people in here can share, and a thought that we all have. And so that's about the same time I met these guys right here, and here we are today.
Alright, hello everyone, my name is Justin. I'm 18 years old, I go to Sobrato High School, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. So, I was born and raised by 2 engineers. My mother and father both went to UCLA. They both graduated with masters and both went on to work at IBM. So from an early age, I was already surrounded with technology in the high-tech industry. And when I turned 8, I got my first Game Boy, and I was hooked on it. I loved it. I loved technology. I loved video games. I loved computers. And so as I grew up, I wanted to go down the same path my parents did. I wanted to go to college, get a job, maybe working for Apple, IBM, or Capcom, and do something with the high-tech industry. You know, it really interested me. I loved it. And up until junior year, I had the same life goal. Like I'd already planned it out that in 5th grade, I wrote down, you know, I'm gonna go to UCLA, and then I'm gonna work at IBM. Not really knowing what that meant. And junior year, I finished my 3rd consecutive year as a mechanical engineer intern at a local company that produces motors. And the first year I worked there, I loved it. I learned how to use AutoCAD on the computer, I learned about manufacturing, I learned about motor design, I learned all kinds of stuff in the business process. I loved it. But by the 3rd year, it kind of felt repetitive. Like I was doing the same thing over and over again. I was working 9 to 5. It was good money, it was interesting, it was good exposure, but it just didn't seem like something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And senior year was coming around, and that's when college applications were, and that's when everybody was deciding what they were going to do. And I began to second guess the plan that I had my entire life. You know, I was thinking, do I really want to go to UCLA and then get a job like the one that I have now that I don't really like, or do I want to do something different? And I don't know if you guys have heard of the game Flappy Bird? Yeah, I read an article end of the junior year that said he was making $50,000 a day from ad revenue. And immediately I was like, wow, $50,000 a day? That's incredible, I can do that. And so I sat down, I brainstormed some ideas, and I came up with a pretty cool concept of an app that I thought, and I didn't really know what to do, but I knew Alex since I played tennis with him, and I knew that he had done some entrepreneurial stuff earlier on, and I had seen some of his posts on social media and about how he was kind of pursuing something more than the average person. So I went to him, I texted him one day and I said, hey man, I got this idea, I know you've been doing stuff, maybe we could meet up, have some coffee, talk about it, you know, let me see what you think about my idea. And he said, yeah man, that's awesome, I'd love to do that. And so we met up at his house, we grabbed coffee, some energy drinks, sorry about that, we grabbed coffee, some energy drinks, and got to work. And then he also had an idea that was amazing too, and we started to work on that idea every week. I'd be coming over, I mean, we'd pull all-nighters, lots of Red Bull, lots of coffee, lots of hours, no sleep, and it was an awesome process. And that's about the time when we met Brandon, and we got Brandon into the group. And the three of us just worked awesomely together, and for the past 8 months we've been working together, sometimes sleeping over at each other's houses. You know, I mean, they live together now, but I still gotta come up. And I can definitely say that I feel more confident about the way, about the path my life is going down now than I have ever before.
All right, guys, how you guys doing today? My name is Brandon Rossi, and I'm 19 years old from Morgan Hill, California. And that's basically where I met these guys. You know, we grew up in the same town, went to different high schools. And basically, I started with entrepreneurship young, before I even knew what the word actually meant. When I was little, I knew that I wanted to do something to connect with people, to talk to people, and to network with people. So I translated that very early on into sales. You know, I like to sell things. So when I made that realization, I realized that my first venture was actually candy bars, cookie dough, and magazine subscriptions. So go figure, right? And so when I got into high school, basically I realized that high school is the area where people decide who they want to be, where they want to go, and how they want to do it. And then there was me sitting there senior year thinking, college is okay, but I want to create something. I want to do something exceptional, and I want to do something that's not normal, not a 9-to-5 job. So it took me a little while to make that realization in my head kind of real. And that happened halfway through my first year at UC Santa Cruz. Now, I made a commitment to myself halfway through that year that if I found the right vehicle, you know, the right opportunity where I just knew it was a home run and I needed to go all in, I would just do it and just get to work because I knew that that's what I wanted to do with my life. And I mean, obviously now we're here because I found that opportunity and I found these amazing people. And through the past 8 months, we've had the ability to work with an amazing business incubator in Scotts Valley. Now, we could stand up here all night and talk to you about the things that we've learned in this incubator, but we've narrowed it down to the 3 most important things that we think that are going to help you guys. So my thing was atmosphere. You know, we are kids, and we grew up, we were kids, and we got to go to a business incubator and sit in an office and work with influential people who were advising us and who were helping us out. And to me, that atmosphere of having somebody, you know, a safe atmosphere, somewhere where everybody's supportive of what you're doing is just such an amazing place to develop as a young entrepreneur. So that was, to me, the biggest thing was the atmosphere that we got to be a part of, and we got blessed to be able to be in.
All right, for me, the biggest thing was the prospect of choice. No matter what you're doing, whether you're starting a business, whether you already have a business, or whether you're trying to learn how to play the piano or learn Illustrator, every morning you wake up, you have to make the choice to dedicate the time during that day to learning how to do something. And the big thing for me is going to public high school, I see kids making bad choices all the time. After school, you know, not doing homework, hanging out with friends, doing illegal things, just not doing anything that's gonna push you toward a goal or better yourself as a person. And having the mindset of making good choices with the things you do and dedicating the time to growing yourself as an individual versus getting sucked into distractions is a huge thing. So for example, I mean, you could be on the couch eating junk food and watching TV, or you could be on the couch eating junk food and having your laptop on your lap and learning about how to code or how to use Illustrator. It's the same thing, it doesn't take that much time. And so the prospect of choice was a huge thing for me, is waking up every morning and knowing I'm going to make the choice to do the right thing to better myself. So.
And last but certainly not least, you need to prepare yourself for the heartbreak. So this was told by me to one of our mentors the very first time I met him. And it's certainly become true. We faced numerous setbacks where we've had to trash 3 to 4 months of work, right, and start back at square one. If we wouldn't have been able to persevere through that, we would have quit a long time ago. So I think one of the most important things, whether you're in music or whatever, you're going to face those setbacks. And once you learn to push through, you come to the realization that every single setback is just a doorway to even greater opportunity. So yeah, you know, being here, as Brandon was saying, in the last 8 months and being able to work in this incubator and being blessed to have the people around us that we've had, we've kind of all come to terms with the people next to us are our greatest assets. So the people we converse with on an everyday basis are really the people who are going to take us to the places that we want to go. So knowing this and understanding that fact, we wanted to reach out to other young people, because as young people doing things that are different than a lot of other young people, we kind of feel isolated a lot of times, or at least that's how I felt in my experience. So we decided to start a young entrepreneurship group in Scotts Valley. And in doing that, you know, we ran a couple meetings every month, and it always seemed to come back to the idea that we weren't only about wanting to improve our own lives, we also had this idea of improving our communities, improving the rest of the world. So we all had this social cause behind us, and we realized that that drives a lot of the young generation. So it's not just about, I want to drive an amazing car, sure, some of us do want to do that, but it's also that, you know, I want to help the rest of the world. I want to cure hunger, I want to stop the homeless, that kind of thing. And stop the anyways, so in knowing that, and in realizing that these past 8 months we've grown more than we ever have in our entire lives being together and being around these people that have this similar mindset, we wanted to create a space where young people, whether they have ideas or they're already in businesses, can meet up together, collaborate, and also have the right mentorship and the right people around them to actually be able to take action and to start things. So with that being said, we started a nonprofit called Changebound, and we're actually going to be creating co-working spaces for young entrepreneurs and young people in general to be able to spend their time doing something productive, right?